Okay, kids. We're going to do this camcorder LP style. So, if any of you live in 2007, feel free to send this off to Slow Beef and Diabetes. Get me on Retsu Parade. I'll do some classic. I'll do some nods to classic Retsu Parade incidents. No, I won't. I'll give you a here, Mike. This will explain everything. I'll give you one of those. What we have here is Super Mario Brothers. Now that might look odd what I just did, dying at the second to last Goomba in the entire first stage, but the point here is to get 50 coins as fast as you can, and I'm using a technique that, oh my goodness, I really fudged that one up. I made a mess of that one. Now I'm 2 coins behind my pace. I can still make it up. You can get about 12 coins if you're fast, but I got 11 there. And yeah, I might have to. Anyway, what might at first glance look like kind of a bad decision, actually what I'm doing is strategic. There we go. See, you can get 50 coins faster by just doing that, by just dying and then hitting that 10 coin block and then dying and then hitting that 10 coin block until you get to 50. I don't know how much time it particularly saves. I got that from the instruction booklet that came with this reproduction cartridge that I was gifted, I believe, for my birthday in 2009. So we're really stuck in 2009 here. Oh, this is a bad deal what I just did, yeah, because that car's going to go right into the center there. If I'm not paying attention, I think if you're over like 210 miles per hour, once you hit those first 2 cars, one of them will swerve into the center lane. If you don't, oh, wow, I just swerved out of my way. If you don't get, I think if you're below, I want to say it's 210 from my limited experimentation, no control group or anything. This did not pass IRB. I'll get on my workplace to give me the funding for that. Stat. God, I kind of wish I lived in the 70s with the amount of just like money for research funding that was getting thrown around. But I'm basing that off of that Albert Brooks movie. That's a bizarre movie if you've ever seen that. Real life. It predicts, reality television. Basically, the thesis of it is the thesis that would become bog standard with reality television. Well, no, not really. The thesis is that it is trashy. Reality television, Brooks's character plays this immoral figure, though, who believes himself to be an artist and a researcher and an academic, somebody who's studying humanity and trying to bring some sort of insight to about the American people, to the common person, and kind of shed a mirror on American culture. It's based off of that. It's called American Life. It was a documentary series on PBS in the early 70s. Anyway, his figure really wants to sell. He tries to sell himself as sort of a hero of the people, or maybe not a hero, but like an academic, somebody who's on the right path with this. When in reality, like what you see him doing is just consistently needling at this family, trying to get them to do something that would be interesting for the camera, intentionally or otherwise, throughout the course of the film. Of course, that's satire of that PBS documentary that I already mentioned, and I've already fucked up. So they say in the booklet that you should just try to get Tetrises. Try only to get Tetrises, which to me kind of reminds me of the Birthday Boys sketch about golf, where it's like, just try to get a hole-in-one on every hole. Oh gosh, what am I even doing? That's not going to help me. See, this is the thing. I just kind of panic because I know it really only matters to win on Tetris. Tetris is the only bit of this that matters. The way that scoring works in this game, or in this cartridge, is that you get 25 times whatever the score you get on Tetris. And then it's like 1 times whatever you get on Mario. And then another, maybe 10 times what you get on Rad Racer. But the thing with Rad Racer is that, like, you are going to get the same amount. You're going to get like 73,000 pretty much on Rad Racer no matter what you do. And I've really fucked this up. And I don't know how to get better at Tetris other than just buying a copy of NES Tetris. And this pattern is frustrating because it gives you a lot of the 4 pieces early and then does not after a point. And this might be the worst that I've scored in weeks. That's not true. I've had some bad ones. I've had some resets. I've been known to game angry. I've been known to blow off steam. Yeah, I might as well. If I weren't filming this, I would just reset. Honestly, I'm disappointed in myself. Well, I'm going to do another take after I see whatever my terrible score is. I was having a panic attack a couple weeks ago, and I just kept having this version of the Nutcracker theme, Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, whatever. Anyway, 30,000, or 300,000 rather, not good. By my standards. Because I'm the expert gamer at this. So, anyway, that's kind of, I talked through what I was doing for the most part there, and then I got really sidetracked at other points. So this time I'll go in and just do some like observational stuff. Because the first time I was running through this game, what I was doing was I would just play through 1-1 as normal, picking up every coin I could get, and then I would get somewhere in World 1-2. And what I learned from reading the booklet, because there's this bit in the booklet that's like a letter that I guess the guy who finished second at the actual Nintendo World Championships wrote to whomever he sold his copy of the original cartridge. He says in that booklet, or in that letter, that you should strive to finish on an odd-numbered world, because finishing on an odd-numbered world will get you the easier of the 2 Rad Racer tracks with the less aggressive enemy drivers. Also, he puts forth the method that you just die after you do the coin world, or after you do the underground, and then reset yourself where that 10 coin block is. I'm to the point now where I don't even go and get like the first coins out of those first blocks. I know I can just, I don't know for certain, but I don't think it saves me that much time, or I don't think it saves me that much time to get those early on instead of just hammering them out that way. Now, I'm doing something risky there by staying in the left lane. I shouldn't have done that. I try to teach myself not to do that. Now, that is probably the fastest way to do that. You see, I had to brake the least, unless I was to go outside, but then there's this other car in the right lane outside that you got to slow down for, or that I have to slow down for. Perhaps a more skilled player would be able to continue at 255 miles per hour. The booklet says that this course can be done at 255 miles per hour throughout. I am, once again, I'm a lot better than I was. I only figured out that you could speed up by holding down the up button about a week and a half into my time playing this game on a daily basis. Which is, I think, it was the night that I figured out you could do that I got what stands currently as my personal best score, my 812,000. And I forget what the final 3 digits of that are. But we are making great time. Now, what tends to happen when I'm making great time is that there's a cluster of a few cars now that, like, down near the end that kind of fuck with me. They do that thing It's kind of like the Wheelchair Assassins did in that one book, Harry Potter, where they drive with the big mirror and try to fuck with people. The Wheelchair Assassin, the Kevin Quath, those guys, playing on the trains and everything. Sort of that sort of thing, but I guess I missed it. Whatever it was, I guess I evaded it. So you never know for certain. I don't read far enough into this. I don't have the brain that kind of gets me to read far enough into that, the way that like those guys who know every little bit about like Super Mario 64 do. I kind of only know the things I most immediately need to know. Why am I doing that? Well, we'll see where this bus takes me. I guess this is how I'm doing it. See, I shouldn't have done that, because now I'm like, no, what the hell am I even doing, man? I feel like a fucking fool. Just a straight up fool. But I think the problem, I think the big problem that I have is I'm too self-critical. And ultimately, that's what's stopping me. My other problem are getting these goddamn square blocks when I don't need to have the damn square blocks. And now I'm just struggling to fucking fit anything anywhere, because I can only get, I can only get the 4 pieces in. And then the problem with this one is that eventually kind of you start out with so many of the 4 pieces. I don't know, the I-bars, whatever the fuck you call it, the pro players call it, but I don't know, the Tetris lingo. I think I need to buy a copy of the NES Tetris. In fact, I went to a local game store to buy a copy of the NES Tetris, and they didn't have it. That's sort of the gambit with local video game stores. They don't always have the stuff you want. Sometimes they have the stuff you want, and that's cool. And it's always good to shop local. But in that particular instance, it was like, well, I didn't have what I was looking for there. So here in this case, what I'm probably going to need to do is kind of build from the center. I'm talking as if I know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, see, I never leave like 2 squares open for myself. I'm not a diligent enough gamer at this point in my life. And at this point, I get so flustered whenever I get to Tetris, because I try to play so perfectly, that, I really ought to play more conservatively, because I'm not trying to get 4 million, man. I'm trying to get 1 million. All I want to do is get a single mil. And what I'm going to get is I'm going to get another 30,000. And I'm better than that. Well, I think I consider myself better than that, but what does reality show? Check the stats, right? Check the scoreboard. I've been getting pretty mediocre results for the most part here, and so I got nobody to blame but me here, really. What did they say just in that song? You do it to yourself, you do. You and no one else. So 482,700. I'm pretty frustrated right now, I gotta say. I'm hopping mad. I'm ready to just throw my controller through this screen. So now I'm just gonna kind of let my voice go and see where my lips take me. There's that song by I don't remember the guy's damn name, but it was like sometimes I wish that my lips would build a castle. Sometimes I wish they'd just fall off. And I still wake up. And I see the ghost. And yet I'm still not sure what I stand for. What do I stand for? What do I stand for? I think it's most nights. It's Some Nights. That's the name of the song. And the artist, oh my God, I'm down now. I'm even behind schedule on this. I'm gonna have to go get the next block. I think it was, it's fun. The band was fun. It was, it was my senior year of high school. They were all about that. Carry Me Home Tonight. That was the big song. Tonight we are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can grow brighter, we can glow brighter than the sun. And everybody in my high school liked it because of the time we were. Young, I mean. We were not setting the world afire, though. We were still just high school kids, you know. I remember we had a pep assembly. Pep rally. I don't know why you can't say pep rally anymore. There's probably some history to that I don't know. Anyway. Oh, shit. See? Right laned it. That's the trouble. I don't know what happened to my... sorry, left laned it. I don't know what happened to my car in the right lane there. Braked there. And that guy comes at an incredible pace. An incredibly slow pace by his standards. Or by his perspective. I don't know what his standards are. Anyway, I remember we were at this pep assembly and they were playing kind of the hits of the day, you know, the popular songs off the radio. And, oh, Jesus Christ. See, that's the trouble. That's what I was talking about. With the wheelchair assassins and the mirror on the back of the car, and you speed up. And you see the mirrors on the back of the truck, and it's late at night, and you're speeding up, and you end up seeing the headlights coming, right? And so the idea is like it's this game of chicken. You're like, oh my God, is there going to be a head-on collision? Am I going to get in a head-on collision here? Oh, yep, that's them. That's who I was talking about. That's a little convoy. See? No, that was my fault. That's really not theirs. Maybe the fact that I'm doing so poorly on Rad Racer, relatively speaking. Mario, I don't think I really... The amount of seconds I really save in Mario is really negligent, but... or negligible, rather. That's me who's negligent of my skill set and my focus here in this game. But I was talking about this experience at the pep rally in high school. And they play that song, right? They play We Are Young by Fun. And the whole chorus is like, we are young. And they were like, so everybody was like, yeah, we got to sing We Are Young by Fun here, because that's us. We're in high school right now. I was a senior in high school, right? And we were like, all right. And then everybody was just roaring, raring, ready to go to sing the chorus to We Are Young by Fun. And then immediately as they hit the chorus, and I thought, I don't know if this was masterful, I don't know if this was intentional, I don't know if this was just a mistake on the part of whomever did it, they like started the announcement. They were like, okay, right as it got up to the chorus and everybody was ready to sing along. The MC, whichever, the teacher was MCing the whole thing, was like, who's ready to get started, and then everybody was like pissed off because we wanted to sing We Are Young by Fun, because that was how we were feeling at the time. Well, that was an accurate statement at the time of kind of our age, because we were, right? Like that's one of the things that I think will, and I think the idea of like there's a temporality to it, or temporary nature to it. I know those two things are not really the same, but they sound kind of similar. You got to give me that. And so I think that's, it says tonight we are young. So it's kind of, it's these people who are older, right? Oops. See what I did there? And now I get a Tetris. Because I wouldn't call myself good at this. But to call me absolutely horrid, heinous at this. I mean, to say that I deserve to have my field salted, or some of the absolutely, I think, slanderous things that people have been saying about me. You know what? Actually, I take it back. I deserve to have my field salted for what I just did there. I really fucked myself. I really fucked myself over. And who has sympathy for me? Not a damn person. Nobody watching this, certainly, because they're here to see top-level Nintendo World Championships play. And to be fair, I keep getting this frustrating Tetris pattern that gives me so many of these 4 pieces to start before I can really use them. And then when I feel like I need them, when I'm ready, I can't. Right? It was kind of like how I got, a driver's license when I was 16. And then I was like, well, I didn't have like a, any place cool to go. I didn't meet cool girls until I was like 19. That's not true. That's a fake story. 3,300. Jesus Christ, Joseph. All right, well, I'm just going to keep going because I'm kind of enjoying myself right now. I got to say, there's a bit of a zen to this. And I'm sort of wallowing. I'm not really wallowing because I'm not really upset. I'm doing perfectly fine, honestly. This is certainly a waste of my time because I mean, in a pragmatic sense, because I really only needed to record the first part of this video for the completion of what would be the part of the article for the website up on joebush.net. But now I want to succeed. Now I want to show the good people of my good readership that I'm not absolute dog shit garbo at this fucking game. And now I'm swearing. So I think I'm just going to go back and tell stories from high school again. And I've already forgotten which one I was kind of working at. I was talking about getting a driver's license. And I think the point was I had to get my driver's license at like 15. I got, what do you get? The learner's permit at 14. I think I was in 9th grade. And then sometimes the turtle doesn't come. Sometimes you got to run to the turtle. You never know. That's what happens in this game. I think I was like 14, right? And my state said you were gonna, the way that it was up until I turned about 16 was that when you turned 16 you could just get the full driver's license, but when you're 15 you had the restricted driver's license. When you were 14 you got the learner's permit, infamously. And that's kind of how it goes. I think that's how it goes in most of the United States, most of these beautiful United States of ours, or at least the way that it went. But they changed the system when I was when I turned 15 to say whatever year it was, that as if, and I don't know why I'm like withholding the information of whatever year it was that I turned 16. I turned 16 in 2011. But they changed it so that anybody born, or anybody who turned 16 in 2011, if you got your restricted license in 2010, you would be grandfathered in and you could just get full unrestricted license access at 16. And that was my situation. And so I kind of had, but I didn't need it, like was the thing, man. I really was, maybe it was kind of one hand feeding the other, chicken feeding the egg and the chicken, you know, infamously from history, those two always kind of palling around. And maybe it was that I figured out more stuff to do with the car once I had the ability to use it. But when I was like 15, I just like, you know, I was given this, given like a hand-me-down Buick from my grandmother, which was a lovely car. I loved that car. I wish I still had it. Unfortunately, I kind of stopped working around 2016. I was 21, and it kind of shit the bed on me. Unfortunately, rest in peace to my 2003 Buick LeSabre. But yeah, I had this car, and I was just like, man, I don't know what to do with it. And I was like, I didn't want to feel ungrateful about having the car, but I was just like, man, I should be doing more with this car that I have. Like, not everybody has a car. There are kids who were my age who were like 15. You know, that was my age at the time, so the other kids who were my age at the time would have been 15, who were desperate to have the opportunity to drive, or had to borrow their mom's car, you know, if they wanted to drive, or whatever. And here I was, the privileged little shit, and please, oh my goodness, I keep getting this one. Well, I just gotta like build up as high as or as much as I can to start here then. And see, you know, if I'm gonna get, but this is the thing, is like I keep getting these floor blocks, but I can't even get a Tetris yet. I can't even do what I want yet. My goodness. I just wish I could get another pattern, but I can get a Tetris here to start. So we can start off with a Tetris. Everybody wants to start off with a Tetris. You know, I felt like such a shit though, because I was like, man, this privilege has been wasted on me. Ultimately, there are kids who would be chomping at the bit to have the good fortune to have what I have, and here I am like whining about it because I don't know what to do with it. And the answer is, with the car, what you do is drive it. And I think I understood that, like, intrinsically. I was like, well, what I should do with the car really is drive it somewhere. But I didn't really have anywhere to drive it. I had a job, but it was only in the summers. You know, so it was like, well, shit, I have this car. I didn't want to feel like an ungrateful little shit, and so I kind of just like found stuff to drive it to. I started going to church. You know, I didn't want to go to church. I kind of had to go to church, you know, but when you're a kid, like, you got to go to church. That was kind of the thing. The thing is now, like, I kind of wish I wanted to go to church. You know, I feel like I would be pretty good at going to church. But, you know, and again, I wish I wanted to do something is not a particularly, like, what a bizarre emotion, because it's like, well, I wish I wanted to. Like, those two things are the same. I wish I yearned for this. Well, no, like, you wish that you wish that you wish something. You just, you know, what's the point of a wish in that case? And there really isn't one. This will be a better run than most of what I've been putting down for you. But I've made a mistake. I've made a big old mistake, haven't I? Yeah, but you can't, Joe, you know what? You can't beat yourself up for making a mistake. What's my mistake, audience? That's right, that I have a 4-piece there. We're kind of running low on time, too, so I don't even know if I'm going to get it. But, there we go. Da-na. Yeah. Anyway, that one was probably better than most of them. Yeah, 721,850. I finished with the Master P reference. So, there we go.